All right, yo, we late, but we here. We are late, but we here. Happy Turkey Day. No Thursday, Friday. I'm so sorry. I was thinking about getting on, and I was like, nah, but nah, we here. We got a chance to make some bread. We gonna take it. I'll get those levels. All right. So we're on a gap up. Nvidia gap down. All right, so we're not gonna look for anything crazy. We're just gonna try and keep an eye out for a few things. VIX is up. UVIX is down. I'm gonna take a look at some cons and go from there. Yo, what's up? Good morning, bro. Hope you enjoyed Big Backing. Yo, that shit was delicious. I'm about to go back to Big Backing. But I was like, you know what? I seen. Did you see the CME thing this morning? I'm like, I was like, I think we can probably get some leeway on that. All right, they have our calls up a little bit, a lot actually. Really, they're just gonna run it? Are they really gonna just run it? We're gonna keep an eye on them joints. They're gonna probably fill that gap first, though. What is that gap at? 680. All right, it's kind of brisk right now. Let me put some pants on. I was trying to hurry up and just get ready and then just like jump on. I had my alarm set and everything, and I just like totally ignored it. Ugh, totally ignored it. There we go. That's why the contract wasn't moving. That's why it wasn't moving. All right, let me put some pants on. Let me get kind of warm. Put my robe on and everything. Oh. I'ma put it all on you, baby. I'ma make your bed rock. Ooh. I did not see the seeing me thing this morning. Good find. Yeah, that shit was crazy. The futures were down. I don't know if they're still down. I'ma make your bed rock. I'ma make your bed rock. I'ma make your bed rock. You can put a on me, baby. Oh man. Wow, excuse me. Uh so what's going on? How come damn thing's not moving? The fuck? Are we on the one? 37? I guess it's only 37. Like, sheesh. What's taking so long? Oh, the Bitcoin. Wow, 92,000. Bitcoin's at 92,000. AMD's ripping on the top end. Coming down a little bit on the downside. Tesla is straight ripping. Tesla is straight ripping. I'm gonna do my usual as per for Tesla. Tesla's nasty. I swag. I serve. All right, who's on and who's not today? We're going to see if we can just find one good trade today. is up, this down, this going up. All right, then we got a lower day right here at 52, 43. Lower day, structure change going up. New lower day, 680, 68. We hit that. Wow, they're putting this in a range. This is a range already. All right. We don't know where we are. We're tightly range bound. They're really rinsing these calls. This is all theta. This is all theta. So everything's being fast forward like a lot. Mm. This is all patience right here. Look at that. The theta on these contracts are crazy right now. Mm. Yeah, we wait. We wait. We wait. Those contracts are dangerous. Well, those probably aren't too bad. I think I was looking at those before even. Remember, it's Friday, and there's all different types of shenanigans going on today. So, definitely look out for that. But man, look at these contracts. They are gotta find the sweet one though. When we find our direction, then we'll find our sweet spot. Just freaking alarm. Oh my god. It just won't go off when I hit it. Look at that movement so fast. So those the 84s are gonna probably be the better ones. Those are really strong. What's the difference? 0.33 delta and 23 delta. What's the deltas? Mm. Oh, get out of here. Look at that. So that's the theta 0.17, 0.15. So I wonder, is it the low one or is that probably at the money right there? Oh, look at that. Look at that. 62, that's the high end. I got calls on NVIDIA going. Calls on NVIDIA. If you got them down there, that wouldn't have been bad at all. Look at what they're doing. So with this price movement, we want to watch. We really want to watch the contracts and see which ones are going to move, or which ones that are moving at what rate. Why is my phone updating? I'm like, yo, my phone isn't updating to these contracts. What are you doing? These prices are not moving. What's going on? Mm, All right, we did break out to the upside. We broke out of that little mini range that they put us in. With all right, it's 9:53. They were 40 to 37s. The other contracts, they were 70 cents. They're at 61 cents right now. There we go. More movement. 38. Mm, that wouldn't have been good at all. Remember, 1 p.m. Market's done at 1 p.m. today. So the movement's going to be weird. And today's a Friday. You know, Friday, holiday, CME messed up. You know, we're in an overall bull market. We're turning away from the bear market. The feds are turning, leaning towards Fed rate cuts. So we have a yeah. I haven't really dipped my toe in anything. I was in some calls earlier, then I left out. I got into some calls over here, then I left out over here. Like 9:57. All right. Well, it's definitely leaning bearish right now. Very bearish right now, but we knew it was going to be a tight range today. We knew it was going to be range bound. They're going to probably give us one good bite. I don't know if this was the good bite. That could have been the good bite. I don't know. If you if definitely if you wanted to short that could have transpired. But there's the gap fill right there, and now we're going. So we're gonna keep an eye on everything. These contracts were these contracts hit the lowest of $37. 37 was the lowest point you can buy this contract. So I think I found the right contract. So I think if I want to surf this, mm, mm, whew, that was a good stretch. Mm, mm. So did you guys eat? Do you guys eat turkey or ham for Thanksgiving, or do you eat both? All right, now these contracts are getting lower. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's just a couple cents right there. All right, high, lower high, lower high. We are getting lower highs. Our highs are getting lower and lower. You see this point? We're back at this decision making zone. You can easily see the consolidation, especially when we're not breaking out on either way. We got to break. We got to break. Can't do nothing forever, brother. You can't do nothing forever, brother. I have some turkey as well. Ham all the way, bro. That's yeah. We had some ham. We had some turkey. Um, I think we had some steak somewhere around floating. Oh, it was so much food. I love my family so much. I love being around my family so much. Either I can be in a front, entertaining everyone and hosting everyone, or I just love being a part of it. I can just be a fly on the wall and just chill, and it's just family's cool. And I grew up in like a really cool family. We were really together on both sides, actually. You know, but man, all different types of cakes. Oh man, pies, homemade everything, banana pudding. Oh man, it was great. It was great. It was great. Got to see everyone. The family structure is changing. People are getting older. You know, So it's up to our generation to keep up with the good traditions. You know, traditions are good. I'm gonna have some pie later after some trades. I can't wait. That's funny. Yeah. So although we're breaking to the upside, these contracts, the lowest they hit were 35. Now they're reading 38. But without breaking that high, we got to break that high. I got my con at the right level. Okay, so this is going down. It is 10:03. Yo, back in the day, we didn't have watches and we didn't have cell phones. There were no cell phones. I mean, like, of course, like watches existed, but I didn't have one. Not even like a little toy joint. But anyway, so whenever you wanted to know the time, you just had to type in the area code and then time, time. Type it in with the numbers and everything, and they would say at the tone the time is 10:04 a.m. Yeah, I'm kind of old, dude. I remember when, like, back in the day, like, we didn't have to use the area code. Like, you just had to use the phone number. So if your phone number was like nowadays, all right, so now these contracts are really taking a poot. I'm not liking that because either they are theta theta killing them, or we moving down. It's looking technically off the chart. It's looking bearish. We were up in the over high stack in the in the upper end of the value area pre-market. What are these puppies doing? These puts aren't even putting. All the contracts are going down. Everything is just going down. That's on 0 dates. That's on today. What about, let's move out. Do we see any direction? Let's take a look at this. Nope. Everything's just dropping. Calls and puts are dropping for the SPY. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whew. That came out of nowhere. Yep. They moved out of theta, the theta region. Wow, that's crazy. We got 3 hours. Well, we're going up, but these contracts aren't. Mm, look at that. Look at that theta. Look at that theta. Oh my god. Every time you see that those red candles, that's crazy. They're taking all that money. The money probably won't be made until later. Like like there's gonna be a point in the day where it's gonna run. That's gonna be the money. Because they're making sides right now. Ooh, look at the interest. Let's look at the contract interest. Which ones? 15,000, 14,000, 20,000, 20,000 on the 680s. 20,000 open interest for the 680s. That's crazy. Do you have anything like that for the top end? 15, 14, 11. Ooh, the 86s. The 86s have 17,000 on them. The 86s have 17,000 on them. Really? 17,000 on the 86s? That's a 5-point move up from here. No way. 686, 685? Really? Today I was actually thinking that. And see again, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. What you gonna do? That's the top end. These 84s are hanging on for dear life. Nvidia. You got calls or puts on Nvidia? Calls. Yeah, you sold those a long time ago. Yeah, you sold those a long time ago. If not, you should. Look at that. 30 cents. That's crazy. Those were 90 cents. The 82s were 90 cents. Yeah, I got out. Yeah, I figured. Well, after I updated the chart, yeah. I figured. And you just can't get out and be like, "Oh, I'll go the other way." It's like, I'm gonna lose some more minutes. Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you do got to pick a direction and go. You know. But yeah, I do recommend not letting the actual contract you hold go negative like fuck, and before you get out. I would say get out and then get back in later on. When the dust settles, because there's just so many different ways you can get screwed. in anything right now. No. This interests are at the same, but that's a better price. Turns into a single print. Now the crazy thing is when your single print turn into a triple print. That's what you want. And that's what you want. Buy something for $9, have that thing go up to $100. Now you're moving. But you gotta break above 81.84. Cause this isn't good. You see, this is a range. 81.84 is fighting for it right now. I gotta take my hair out too. All right, we're hitting that top end. We're hitting the top end right now. Mm, mm, interesting. All right, here we go. That's it. I don't know if that's the confirmation we need, but let's see if they're going to jerk around a little bit. The 683 is back up there too. It's 1016. That's a new high day right there. We're grinding up, but it's a slow, ugly grind. Now that we are in a new zone, because we were in a zone before, but now we're in another zone. If you leave that zone, any calls that you have up there are instantly going to get flushed. You know, if you didn't buy anything down here, this is a horrible buying zone for calls. I didn't catch it, so I'm not buying. I'm watching though. It's interesting change up there. All right, this it's moving now. It was 86. They only went up 3 cents. That's not really too impressive. Let's see one double. Probably gonna get those at that price again. That's a big rejection up there. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at that. They took out that whole zone. That whole zone wiped out. Boom. There you go. There you go. You see? I told you if you bought anywhere in that zone right there, that was a bad buy. And of course, anything above that was a bad buy. And they were taking all those out. Boom. Took all those out. Burn them, baby. Burn them, baby. Sheesh. There it go. It got down. I didn't think it was going to hit that price again. It did. Now that it hit that price, I can't talk ish about it not hitting the price and it hit the price. And I don't hit the price. That's just top of the range. I could be top of the range right there. So we're back on the top end of the range. I didn't draw the lines, but we are there. Let's see, downward it's somewhere around here. Having all those touch. So this is pretty much where we are right there. If I would have drew that line out, it would have came out right here. Dumb motherfuckers, bro. That probably wouldn't be a bad price. I might mess around with some of those. 82, 83. I see the 84. Those 84s are no good. Those 84s are no good. Those 83s are dropping precipitously. It's only $9. I mean, I can still break that. Oh, listen to that. My goodness. Mm. Mm. Chop City bit, 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 chop City, chop City, chippy chop cheese, chippity chop, chippy chip, chippy cheap. 10:32. The Chop City, chop. You know, I'm not even looking at Tesla. What is Tesla doing? Tesla's on the low end. Damn, see, this is what I seen this morning. This is what I seen this morning. Yeah, that 9:35, 9:30. Yeah, that's what I seen this morning. And then as soon as I said, nah, fuck that. Boop. As soon as I said that, Tesla. I wish I was keeping an eye on that too, because I would have rode that wave. I might ride that wave. 12:30. Positions closed at 12:30 today, so you definitely have to look out for that. Mm. Look at Tesla. What else is dropping? Okay, Apple. Apple dropped those just a little bit, not crazy. Let's see, 31. That whole thing ran up. You think about if you catch Tesla in the right cycle, you can kill it. Got to catch it in the right cycle though. But usually I'm preoccupied with SPY, and sometimes Tesla moves inversely with SPY. So like even that's like a thing. man. Uh, mm. The 85s triple for the open interest. Holy crap. Holy crap, dude. There's like so many open interests for 85s. 11,000, 14,000 on those. On these, 32,000 On these, still 17,000. Do we see any big puts? Did the puts increase? No. 14,000. No. This is a reciprocated one. 20,000. Nope. 9,000. 13,000 for the 678, 677 puts. But when we're looking at the calls on the upside, these 685s just 30, these went up fucking like 20,000 contracts. I got Tesla reversing. Big reversal on Tesla. These didn't go up that much. 30%, I guess. 60%. No, not 60. Mm, mm, that's it right there. All right, now they're moving. That's the move. This is the move right here. I should have jumped on that 83 when I seen it. Mm. Wow. Crazy day, even so far, man. Sheesh. Even on a day like this, but it's definitely a bullish day. I don't think I want to look any other way. I think that gap was good enough to be filled on that downside. I mean, I guess if we can write some insurance. buying on the top of the day, but we opened at 680 and we're only at 682. Usually SPY moves like 5 to 7 points. I might get another 684. I'm looking at the 684s hard. It's 683s aren't bad as well. The 682s are pretty much in there. Wow. What are you playing today? You playing anything today? Are you gaming today? I don't think I'm doing anything. I don't have anything like planned. I'm not going out or anything. I turn my head for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. So you literally want me to stare at the screen all day? That is sick. Trap those bears in. They're just going to grind it up. With a move like that, if they, they keep doing moves like that, that's crazy. The 686s are falling out of favor. The 686 is falling out of favor. 685, the interest is still up. Wow. Wow. That's drop my lighter. My litor. I just heard it, but I ignored it. I didn't feel where it dropped. Alright, this is kind of boring. Fargo. Fargo. Oh, here I go, right here in my robe pocket. I thought it dropped. Silly me. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. Alright, I guess we've just been watching this freaking sheet. New low a day, 940. Is this 940? There we go. So then we got a higher high at 1021. 1021. Higher high. 682. 32. We're gonna count this lower low. Higher low. Four, 7. And then that's high of day, right? We got a new high of day at 51. 82.63. Boom. Excuse me. The hiccups. What? 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 We're updated. That was last week's. $16.92. Around 11 a.m. All right. Bop, bop, bop. Contracts are still, they're still relatively good. They're still good. Oh man. Shoosh. Ooh. The VIX is going up. As long as his contracts go up too. I need a new phone. There we go. I know I should have picked those up. I should have picked way more of those up. I know. Damn. Damn. Especially when I seen the direction of the day. This is just a slow grind up. I should have got more of those bad boys. Yeah, I let go of those 86s. 86s aren't moving. I'm gonna. Yo, am I still live? You gonna be on prayer later on today? Okay, I'll pray. What does that 67 mean?
Oh, they're excited. It's outthere.
I want to see the chat.
Y'all gotta keep moving. Don't stop. Don't stop. It is a cold morning here in New York City. Who here has seen a little
Shameless plug. I'm plugging. I'm plugging. Hello, yo, I'm plugging. I don't care. I'm plugging my channel. It's yo, did I get anyone from the Macy's Day Parade to come over? Did I get anyone to come over? Let's see what they're doing over there. Yo, they look cool. Yo. The heck? What is this? What kind of move is that? Shorty was kind of, sheesh. I'm gonna get some food before I get on.
It's a Macy's Parade fan favorite, starting with the Keepy Uppy balloon, and then Bluey. Team Bluey, can you be the loudest balloon handlers in the Macy's Parade? Now, Bud still has you beat. Are you the loudest balloon handlers in the Macy's Parade?
She looks warm.
There we go.
She looked warm. You know what? Let me text Shorty and see if she went to the parade.
I don't see any dogs, but they look to be there. You'll have to ask these clowns. It's our dog walker clown with some
Auctions and Macy's Day Parade. Bother you.
If you're looking for even more Macy's Parade, Matt, head to Universal Orlando. You can see the stars of our Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's. And yes, the banner's not lying. Santa Claus has touched down in New York City and is on his way.
What is that sound?
Some more Macy's Parade classics, this time in blue. With our
Yo, I
star
heard
blue.
Busta Rhymes killed. Killed it yesterday.
Walking by in a flurry of laughs, it's the Kingsbury Clown. And the wintertime clown's Nutcracker Mouse King, and fan favorite, the Nutty Cracker Ballet Clown. Spirit of America cheer, I heard you get loud, is it true? They told me you get louder than that, is it true? Macy's Parade, please welcome the Spirit of America cheer crew!
Yo, shorties, and shorties, man. Anyone want to play Fortnite? Yo. Did anyone tell me if I missed Sonic the Hedgehog? Macy's has been going downhill. I heard Busta Rhymes killed it yesterday, though. Oh, not gonna lie, hardcore Christians are some of the most heartless, hurtful people I know. Preach love and acceptance, but only to people who share their exact belief. This is an open forum. Open forum. Us of lawsuits. If you white people in here keep spamming Jesus when he wants nothing to do with you.
Macy's Studios just does not quit. From the legend, it's the Brick-tastic Winter Mountain, dancing around with Big Johnny.
Also, the parade was yesterday. The parade was yesterday, so this isn't live. It says live. But what am I watching now?
Suddenly the holidays are indeed rolling down the route. With our prospects.
Are you sure? What am I watching? It says live. The hell? Now, what the hell is what's going on over here in this contract? That was data.
And now we've been waiting for this one from our friends at the Lucas Oil Company. It's brotha.
What was that? Oh, that's crazy. Sheesh. Big time thing. Yes, the parade was yesterday, bro. Yo, then what am I watching? This is crazy. They making this joint look live. They making this joint look live, bro. This is a rerun. This is. A repeat is always on Thanksgiving. So you call it Thanksgiving Day Parade. It could have been an after party. Damn, I thought it was like a. Damn, I thought this was the John. Well, I want to see the Busta Rhymes John. Then, if this is it. Shoot.
All right, here we go. Dripping with green ooze. No, it's not my mom's frosted casserole. No, it's Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Leo, Mikey, Ralph, and Johnny gonna have to pause their pizza break to deal with super fly.
New season of the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles drops in December on
I guess that's kind of cool.
And there's a turtle short in front of the new SpongeBob movie.
Right now, we've got a trailblazing artist with over 20 million albums sold, Busta Rhymes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, Busta came out on the jump.
Don't just hit, make my people wanna
Make people wanna. That's just it. Make people wanna. Oh, he's in the shit.
The only thing you need to do right here is start the freaking head. Let's go. Break your neck, come on. Break your neck, come on. Break your neck, come on. Bang your head until you start.
Oh, they dancing.
Break your neck, come on.
I didn't know they were going to dance like that. Yo, they need to put some black kids. The black kids would have been going crazy right now. Well, nah, they would because their parents would be putting them on Busta Rhymes. Look at that kid. He like, what the hell? That kid want to snack. Look at him. He's still not moving. What's next? Hey, you see, I didn't see this. As can see, Buck Wild is the place to be. Oh no, they didn't just do that. Partner with me, really trust. Ah, he didn't go into the line. Ah, so you believe someone else, not me?
Welcome to Yahoo Finance's flagship show, Morning
I
Brief.
just
I'm Julie
watched
Hyman.
it.
Let's get to the 3 things you need to know today. First up, it's the final trading day of November. The S&P 500 is on track for its first monthly drop
They
in
made it
6
seem as
months,
though
while
it
the
was
Nasdaq
like,
may fall for the first time since March. Of course, tech is a big reason why. Supermicro Computer poised to be the worst
they made
performer
it
in the
seem as
S&P
though
500
it was
for November.
like a
Other losers include
big,
Coinbase,
big
Oracle, and
thing
Palantir.
that was like, let's get this out my ear, out your ear. All right. See, in the middle of looking at the Macy's Day, Jen, we got a big change in market structure. I would love to know what that was. Like, that was just a killer right there. Look at that. 1028. That was just a killer. We open right here, 680. Wow, we already didn't go anywhere. Crazy. 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 Fuck 'em. Oh, what happened right here? Let me see if I can find some news. What happened? What was that? Was that just the daily fuck you, or I mean, I get it. Is it CME fully restored now? They talking about CME half day reminder. Yeah, that definitely was a half day reminder. Nut shot. That was definitely a nut shot. That was a shot in the fucking nuts right here. Look at that. That's crazy. They seen I had my fucking screen down. And that's why you gotta be on your P's and Q's right there for shit like that. That's what it is. Shit like that right there. Who said what? Did Trump say something? Scam day. Bear bait. So you know what we call that? A bull trap. Get fucked. They're rugging folks finally, or just more more bear bait. Mm. Not a lot of data to explain or justify this run up. Other than history, looks like it's a classic end of year FOMO rally. Fuck you, Nvidia, piece of shit, because you motherfuckers $6 I lost money. It was my call. I mean, you motherfuckers lose $6 money. I do like you. Ah, so was that Nvidia? What are they saying? Last trend. It was this Yahoo. No, what they needed to turn he get off. He got off. I like him. He's cool. He's cool. You're off. Ray J high as a kite and brandishing the farm live stream. Oh wow, Ray J man, you taking it too far. Oh, I might watch that. Oh, I might watch that. That was crazy. The market sucks. LOL. Wow. Yeah, that was ugly. Stop loss raid. Give it 5 minutes. Yeah, that's why I was looking for the news because I'm like, what made this happen? Like that's 21 to 27, so that was 6 minutes. I've just, what was that? Sometimes just watching is the play. Yeah, but the fuck, you you've been watching a long ass time. I mean, that right there. Dip by reversal for liquidity grab. Wow, look at that V. Straight V. 685s. There's no way those 685s are coming into print. It's still $7. Yeah, 682 is in there. That's not going anywhere. 1245. Market closes at 1. These close at 1245. Wow, that turned me off right there. Always up, don't fight it. Nope. They played good games for a few minutes, drop in. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Right back up. That's crazy. Shaping up for a big push. Options, spiking both sides and move might come. So, options, imbalances. It's not OPEC. Legalized Ponzi scheme. Almost. Who got their calls? Yeah, they got me on my shit. Well, you better because that theta hit was so big. I gotta get some food. I am hungry. I want I want some more Thanksgiving. I want some more leftovers. All right, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get me some food. Brother man is starving.
actual league mechanic. So what might those league mechanics be? Well, to talk about this, we need to go back all the way to the very first content update for Path of Exile 1 in 2013, 1.1, The Sacrifice of the Vow. That is when Queen Atziri was first introduced. She was the premier pinnacle boss in Path of Exile 1 way back when. You dove into her alluring abyss and you fought her. She was an awesome boss fight. She still is in Path of Exile 1. And to reach her, you had to find these sacrifice fragments that were in Val side areas, which were basically corrupted main areas, filled with Val creatures and mini-bosses. So that is one potential idea of a league mechanic. These side areas that you would find scattered throughout campaign zones and map zones. And when you hopped into them, they had crazy modifiers, wild Val creatures, buffed up Val creatures, of which there are a lot in PoE 2 already. I'm sure they would add more. And then Val specific mini bosses. And then at the end, there would be some sort of reward that would give you a way to access Atziri. I think that's also very likely in this league. I think we'll be fighting Atziri. Grinding your games would not just show the 4-boobed queen without us being actually able to encounter her. Maybe we'll fight her in pre-4-boob form. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. But I'd reckon in some regard, we will be encountering Queen Atziri. Additionally, in 1.1, there was another awesome mechanic added that stayed in the game forevermore, and I think it would serve excellently in Path of Exile 2, and I'd reckon this is one of the new reward mechanics that is coming in 0.4, and that is Val Skill Gems. Okay, so Val Skill Gems in PoE 1, and remember guys, these are all just inspirations for what will happen in PoE 2. Abyss in PoE 1 looks nothing like Abyss in PoE 2. And I hope they do the exact same thing with whatever mechanics they decide to transform to Path of Exile 2. I don't want a one-to-one copy. I don't want no ritual. I don't want expedition. I don't want delivery. I want something new, and I'm confident they're going to accomplish that with this. I'm just giving you guys the background. So back to Val Skill Gems. These are gems that you cannot consistently use. Instead, to use them, you have to power them up with souls. So when you kill a monster, you capture its soul. Certain monsters have more souls, and when their gem fills up to, let's say, 100 souls, you can use the Val version of certain skill gems. So for example, there is a version of Val Cyclone, the ability where you spin around in a circle, right? It's the one that everybody wants in PoE 2, whirlwind attack, okay? And instead of you just continuing to spin in the circle, now during Val Cyclone, you also pull all enemies in the area in toward your spinning cyclone so you can kill them easier. There's Val Cleave, where instead of just a basic cleave attack, your cleave gains this demonic arm. And if you kill a rare enemy with it, you steal its modifiers, much like Headhunter. There are plenty more examples, but I'd argue that wouldn't be cool in PoE 2. You know what? In Path of Exile 2, they have a lot more resources. They have a lot more freedom with animations and effects. Why not just make a whole new class of Val Skill Gem? Not upgraded versions of Lightning Arrow or Tempest Flurry or Ice Strike or anything like that. Instead, you have, just like the lineage support gems, you have Val Skill Gems, and you have Apocalypse, the skill Apocalypse, and its classification is Val Skill Gem. Or you have this skill Summon Chimera. Instead of being able to just summon the bear and wolves, which should be coming in this update with the druid, you can summon the Chimera that we find in the Val Trials of Chaos for a short duration. I think that would be so sick, a cool evolution. It's not just a better version of an existing skill that you'd be able to use every so often. Instead, it's a truly meaty, I think I saw Neversink say on Twitter, an ultimate-like ability. I think that would be rad. And of course, you would get them from whatever form of new league content is introduced with the Fate of the Val, which it could be these Val side areas, which are juiced to the brim with Val creatures, or it could be one of my personal favorite league mechanics from PoE 1, one of my big money makers, actually, for a very not smart player like myself, and that is Incursion. You might recognize the lady in this little Incursion trailer from way back in the past. June 1st, 2018 to be specific. In this now ancient Path of Exile 1 League, you joined Elva on an expedition to the past, to the Temple of Atzoatl. You constructed this temple by visiting rooms in your maps or your campaign zones, clearing the rooms, killing a mini-boss and adding it to the temple, connecting different rooms in the temple together, and at the end of a set of these incursions, you would create a full Temple of Atzoatl. After you'd created the full thing, you would then join Elva in a raid to the temple that you constructed, with treasure rooms, boss rooms, league mechanic rooms, just rooms where you kill stuff, rooms that change the environment of the entire temple, and at the very end, there was a Roomba that you could kill. Additionally, you could even fight Queen Atziri in her corrupted form in the Temple of Atzoatl. This, instead of the Val side areas, could be the league mechanic that we're seeing transformed from PoE 1 to PoE 2. And I would not complain. This could be sweet. Just like 1.1, Incursion also introduced a brand new sort of reward mechanic. And many of you are probably familiar with it somewhat in PoE 2, and that is corruption. Right now in Path of Exile 2, you can corrupt an item with a Val Orb, and you can get a great outcome, a good outcome, or a trash outcome, or really no outcome. Well, in Incursion, they introduced a way to double corrupt an item with the Locus of Corruption. Instead of just touching your item once with the Might of Atziri and the Val, it would do it twice, and you could get 2 corruption outcomes. And I know there are a lot of gamblers out there who would love that in PoE 2. So those are the 2 very likely league mechanics that are coming with Fate of the Val, revamped for PoE 2, but I'd like to throw one into left field right here and now. And it's mostly because of the line on the thumbnail for this particular teaser. The mirror does not lie. Now, what could that mean? I'd like to just throw out there that it's possible that we might get a Scourge-like mechanic for PoE 2 during this league, wherein instead of going to a side area or doing incursion or something like that, we transform the entire area into a mirrored, bowed, cataclysmic version that we then fight monsters in, get rewards from, so on and so forth. There is also a chance they go in a totally unexpected direction here and pull from other prior league mechanics and just slap Val on top of it in an awesome way. Or maybe they just create something perfectly unique for Path of Exile 2, something many of us, including myself, have really yearned for, instead of just taking PoE 1 stuff, putting it in PoE 2, doing something PoE 2 only. Now, with Rise of the Abyssal, we knew exactly what we were getting for the most part. We knew it would be Abyss focused. With this, there's many different possibilities, and that small chance it's something totally out of left field, and it's Act 5 and 6. But anyway, let's transfer back to the lore of the league for just a brief moment, because I do got to shout out Grinding Your Games. The past 2 leagues, especially Rise of the Abyssal and then Keepers of the Flame in PoE 1, they have gone in on the lore, the exposition, the dive into the story. There's little gimmicks and flourishes all throughout the actual story. So if they tease something as crazy as this, seeing Queen Atziri in her prime, well, that is debatable, I suppose. Before she is corrupted by the beast, before she communes with it, I think we're going to get some major story drops that people have been excited about for a very long time. Doriani, for the longest time, was this mysterious character in the Path of Exile universe. There were many lore videos and speculation about him on the forums, stuff by Kit and Kat Noodle, wherein people are talking about Doriani, and Grinding Your Games are dropping all these hints into the game about this guy. And then finally in PoE 2, in that 3rd trailer or the 4th trailer before release, we see him and we get to encounter him in the actual campaign. We ally with him, we bring him to the present day, and now we see Atziri. It's just crazy. Grinding Your Games are cooking. Guys, people who typically aren't even hyped about PoE 2 leagues, I see freaking out about Atziri everywhere. It's they cooked with this one. They cooked. They're ready to go. I'm ready to go too, guys. All right, Exiles, I think that's it. I didn't want to make this one too long. Oh my goodness, I've been going for 19 minutes. It might be long. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Are you as excited as I am? Were you talking at the Thanksgiving dinner table about Atziri and how she might have obtained her secondary pair of glands? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, wait, what is this? Okay, we just got the teaser. Okay, prediction. Double corrupts. Vol skills, vol side areas, 2 new acts, 6 new classes, 9 new ascendancies, 100% not fake information, and a whole bunch of streamers getting quantum raging. No! Here we go, boys. We just got the teaser.
I desire more than what this mortal flesh could provide me. And so now, my darling, I am yours.
Oh! Faith of the Vol. Wait, is that Act 5? Are we getting new acts? Okay, I mean, what mechanic is this? Is this Alva? Incursion? Yeah, are we getting Incursion League? I feel like this is Incursion plus Heist. Third Lab? Third Lab is Toda. Cannot be Act 5. I mean, Act 5, we're supposed to go the Oriath, right? Is what they said, so it doesn't really look like Act 5. Double Corrupts is certainly a crafting mechanic. So you think it's Gamba League? Gamba League double craft incoming. I actually did not expect to vol anything. They did say before that, like, League mechanics, they're reusing the ones from PoE 1. So the only thing I can think that even fits this theme at all is Incursion. Side areas, vol side areas. The red portals that no one runs. Yeah, could be side areas. Vol skills. Oh, shit, we could get vol skills. I mean, you can already kind of corrupt stuff. It could be double corrupts. Could be Incursion. Alva League. I mean, Alva League would make sense. It's Delve Trust. Yeah, that certainly looks like Delve. So the only thing that this fits and what we already know, we know a couple things, all right? We know that they've already said they're going to reuse PoE 1 leagues for a while. If they're reusing a PoE 1 league, the only league that this actually fits is like Incursion, as far as I can tell. Outside of that, I don't see this really fitting anything other than double, like you could do the Vow skills, Vow side areas people were saying. Like what else could it, you know, kind of be? What is Incursion? Educate me. It's like you go into a Vault Temple and sort of make your own dungeon type thing. At Zeri as a new pinnacle boss, yeah, it could be something like that. Incursion was the worst. Please note. Yeah, it's like basically it shows up and you like build out this mini dungeon that you're kind of making as you make selections. I didn't really do much of it. I'm not like an expert on Incursion. I never really ran it. Alva's already in the game, so Incursion makes sense. I agree, pal. This looks like Incursion to me. That looks like, yeah, Incursion's the only thing I can think it looks like. Or it's something new entirely. You think they just like pulled something new entirely out of here? I'm no expert on Incursion. You randomly make tempos, get nothing, and then have chat trade you a Mage Blade, and you get double corrupt into a rare. That's Incursion. Pretty much. That's been my experience as well. Maybe it's going to be reworked. Well, no matter what, if it is Incursion, it's going to be heavily reworked because they said they take the other ones, but then like all of the mechanics have been brought over and basically been reworked to some extent. Thought the league name was the Last of the Druids. No, that's the patch name, like the expansion name. In the same way, the third edict was 0.3, but the 0.3 league mechanic was Rise of the Abyssal. So this is the league name, which is Fate of the Vol. I think it's bits and pieces of other leagues. I don't want it to be a one-to-one to PoE 1 league mechanics. I mean, hell, this could even be an Act 5 teaser. I don't think it's Act 5. My first thought was like, oh, maybe it is, because you have like this dude, Tentacle dude makes you think of the Beast, right? Like, you're like, oh, shit, it's the Beast coming, you know? And that's, like, what we're chasing during the entirety of the story. But in Act 5, we go to Oriath. And this doesn't seem themed to be Oriath at all. So, more than likely, this is just, like, a league mechanic and doesn't really have anything to do with the story outside of, like, thematic theme. The other part is, okay, on the Nexus, we have the corrupted areas. So, hold on, let me pull up the game real quick here. On the map, we have these corrupted areas. And these are obviously, like, part of the, I mean, the mechanic could be something to do with like the corrupted areas. You go into the corrupted areas and there's like a mechanic in these, or you chase the corrupted areas to go to like the corrupted nexus. They could be doing something like that as well. Some kind of thing that interacts with the Atlas. Hopefully kind of not, because I actually wouldn't want the mechanic to be tied to like having to find these corrupted areas. Would be kind of like a chase mechanic that would be like kind of annoying, honestly. But that's the only other thing that kind of comes to mind with what we actually have like in the game at the moment. It's at Zeri, guys. She communes with the beast and gets 2 more boobs. I don't think it's at Zeri, because like there's only 2 boobies in this. Is that not the Countess from the main story, or who am I missing? Like, this is her, is it not? All you need to know about her is that she's mine? I don't think so, Karn. You don't get to claim dibs just like that easy. I mean, wasn't this league supposed to be more focused on in-game? Yeah, but like you're always going to get a league mechanic. Reflect coming into PoE 100% guarantee if they add Zeri. Oh, that would be great. I hope we do get Reflect in game. Everyone was going to love that a lot, actually. I heard that was like up there with Calandra League. Okay, I got one more secret for you. Did you know that Alva is an anagram for Vol? You're welcome. From the PoE wiki, although traditionally confined to the Ray-class mainland, spanning the majority of the regions later conquered by Terran empires, known that the Vol culture had once extended to the shores of the island of Orioth. Queen Adzuri also used Orioth as a vault to keep valuable goods. Maybe we're getting Act 5 Incursion League? No, well, I mean, probably not. Because, okay, Faith of the Vol is the league name. They're sticking to their template. If that was true, then the third edict would have been like the league name. Like Rise of the Abyss has nothing to do with Act 4. If you didn't realize already, Faith of the Vol is actually Eat Off Alba. God damn. I think we can analyze every pixel. So let's see, it goes from dark to light. Therefore, brightness slider confirmed. There's a person walking towards a triangle. Therefore, geometry and women confirmed. The Porto goes blurry. Therefore, performance issues confirmed. And low FPS confirmed, because this is like, it's getting laggy in the Porto. Delirium will still be cloudy. Oh yeah, let's see what Reddit has to say. Let's see what Reddit detectives have to say. Why only 2 honkers? Great job, Reddit. Fantastic first comment. Unlucky corrupt, unfortunately. This is the top comment, bro. You gotta be kidding me. The next comment is outthere ex de Mukanva. Great. Atlas removed, only Vol Temple remains. So this is just ship posting. Rip 4 titties. There's no good conspiracy theories here. Everyone is just talking about a lack of 4 boobies. Like what? This is an unreadable thread. People are hyper trolling before 0.4. That's how you know everyone's bored. Like everyone's just ship posting memes. Right, what's the YouTube comments say? Can't wait to see her outline under the delirium fog. Bro, it's all fucking memes. At Zeri. Wait, do we actually think this is at Zeri? Is that what we're saying? That's at Zeri? Yeah, I mean, okay, the hat is like a little. Yeah, it is somewhat similar. Wait, hold on. In PoE 2, wait a minute. In PoE 2, she doesn't have, wait, never mind. She does have 4 boobies. Never mind. Wait, in PoE 2, that's the PoE 2 clip. She does have, that can't be her. It does have 4 boobies in PoE 2 right now. Maybe that's her boss form. The hat kind of looks similar-ish. Fate of the Vol. Fate of the Vol Gemstone Sword. Oh my god, swords confirmed? Physical damage, attack speed, physical from hits converted to a random element. Wait a minute. Swords confirmed. 100% confirmed. Swords confirmed means we're getting duelist, all 3 ascendant. We're getting 2 new classes confirmed. New weapon, druid 100%. Just because of this random PoE wiki, full on confirmed. There it is, dude. Ready misinformation? What do you mean? I would never. She's Viper. Look at snakes on the side. Oh, you know, Viper did this. Wait, what does Viper look like in the game? It kind of looks like Viper. No, it's not Viper. It's not Viper. It's just at Zeri, like pre-getting corrupted or whatever. It's got to be at Zeri. So Incursion plus at Zeri boss, 100% swords confirmed, Val skills, Val side areas, and of course they wouldn't release a sword without the class associated with it, so we're getting multiple classes released, and they wouldn't release multiple classes without a new act to play it in, so we're getting multiple new acts, we're getting the full campaign, and they probably wouldn't release, you know, if they're that close to having all the classes in, they might as well finish all the classes, so we're going to get all the classes released. If you have all the classes, you need all the ascendancies, so we're going to get all the ascendancies for the current class released as well. And if you're going to add a league mechanic, you might as well flush it out with a few other league mechanics and a couple Uber bosses. And PoE 3 announced while we're at it. There's nothing to work with here. We have a triangle, at Zeri, and probably Incursion. That's what we're working with. That's what we got. What is this clip I'm getting clipped here? The fuck am I? Why am I getting clipped there? Yeah, wait, hold on. It's the same person. That's pretty much all of the confirmation we need. What I want to see in PoE 2 for 0.5. So 0.5, holy, I'm getting ahead of myself by 4 months. 0.4, let's see what the man has to say.
Hey, what's up guys, Kadachi here and welcome back to the channel. It's been a few weeks since my last video. I spent a bit on PoE 1 and I honestly fell in love with Arc Raiders. I was enjoying the new season, but I play on console, so with the dwindling player base, that combined with them ruining a lot of the juice to farm in the end game, and being forced into mechanics I've never personally enjoyed doing, my time spent on the game was cut very short. But I made it to maps, did a lot of my pinnacles, and I enjoyed the new kinetic fusillade that was added to the game. They did an excellent job on that skill, basically taking everything you need to make it work in PoE 2 and just giving it to it on base in PoE 1.
Why do I feel like everyone has a temporalis except for me? Also, he's right. They did take fuselage from PoE 2 and added in PoE 1, which is kind of cool to see, like, skills transferring backwards. Like, they keep adding stuff from PoE 1 into PoE 2, but it's kind of cool to see, like, PoE 2 is actually adding some stuff to PoE 1 as well. Like asynchronous trade's the obvious example, I guess.
Hopefully we can see some changes to Ember Fusillade in the future. But now, with the next PoE 2 season being right around the corner, the hype is building up,
What is this build?
Druid is confirmed, so I figured I would put out a video on what I would want to see in 0.4. The gameplay in the background is my Temporalis Ember Fusillade build, which I did make a video on. This is my
So he's doing Chaos Conversion, Ember Fuselage with a Temporalis.
updated and final version of the build, so I will leave a link to that
Kinda cool,
in the
Dan.
description
looks pretty good.
in case anybody wants to play this as their
pretty good.
last few builds of the season or whatever. Now, let's get
It
into
looks like everyone is playing Bloodletting, though. Like that Bloodletting gym.
the video.
Pretty much what this looks like, too.
The things I'm going to be going over, I didn't really put in any specific order, so we'll just be talking over these the way I have them written down. So, let's begin. For starters, the first thing I would like to see in 0.4 is absolutely no nerfs. To anything important, that is.
Absolutely no nerfs. There's one thing you're not getting, dude. Total cup, yeah. All right. Hey, one man can dream, dude. He's on Santa's lap, and he just asked Santa for a brand new fucking jet. Good luck. Good luck with that.
As I said in my video before about my 5,000 hours review, things like tech rods and bloodletting, definitely most people can agree those things have to be looked at. Other than that, I believe the entire sandbox is pretty fine, and we just need to buff things that are outliers. And to say that
I would put a bet that Roa gets... Roa, Deadeye, Lightning Arrow, Lightning Rod is getting the Quadra Tap Orbital Bombardment Ion Cannon like a GDI. Is immediately going to destroy... I bet you Roa gets gutted. I bet Lightning Rod gets gutted. I bet Deadeye Ascendancy gets like a decent percentage nerf. Those ones are getting Orbital Cannon. Bloodletting's probably getting nerfed, let's be honest. Somewhere in there's going to be a Shield Wall Warrior nerf. There's going to be a lot. I bet you there's going to be a lot of nerfs. If I just had to
the
guess.
entire sandbox is fine is definitely a stretch, simply because a lot of builds that can reach the end game, once you reach the hurdle of doing Super Juice, say we do get to keep Abyss maps next season.
Wait, holy lag, dude. This is looking like a Blight run from PoE 1.
There are a lot of builds that separate from others and fall off in the end, and only a few can perform very well in this state of the game. There's always many reasons as to why that could be the case, whether it be this ascendancy is better than the other, better scaling options, this skill functions better than this.
The man himself is in here, says, this is the console experience in juice. I'm so sorry. This is a great time to plug Starforge PCs, the best PCs in the universe. Hashtag ad.
I don't think every skill should be able to function the same on the level of power. Some should be used in early game, some work better in end game, but I do want to see a lot of these higher level in-game skills working.
That
brings us into our next topic of all niche skills needing to be buffed. There's quite a few amount of skills that have just very low usage rates or no usage at all because they're just absolutely unusable. They can't scale very well, and I'm not really going to go over any of them because I'm sure GGG themselves have these numbers and they know this. I just simply want to see these skills buffed so that we can use them. They will add way more build variety to the game.
Yeah, there's just some that just feel terrible. Like, I mean, I'm aware that no matter what skill I can name, somebody out there is going to be like, but I saw a video in which a guy does a billion damage with a guy with no matter what. But just out of the top of my head, playing Acidus Flask didn't feel very good. That is one example. Like, there's just some of these skills where you play them and they just don't, they don't feel very great, for sure. So, like, I mean, I would say that there's going to be balance changes. I mean, I definitely think that there's going to be some nerfs because I doubt they're currently happy with the Roa situation, though. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they love it. Who knows? They've been kind of quiet on that front. I would like to see some buffs as well. I'd say balance changes are just like, they're going to always be some balance changes. We had balance changes 0.3. We had balance changes 0.2. We had balance changes 0. There's always going to be balance changes. It's going to happen again. I think this is like obvious. So like there's going to be some nerfs, some buffs. Hopefully there's, you know, a bigger variety of builds. 0.3 was way better than 0.2. 0.2 basically had no variety of builds. It was Lightning Spear or nothing.
Another thing that can be looked at is more stacking options. Charge stacking has been used quite a bit. Frenzy charge, power charge. We still need more endurance charge support, I'd say. I haven't seen very much of that. Maybe a bit with the Nebulock. But
yeah,
more
agreed.
than just that, you know, accuracy stacking has also come into the play, but I would love to see mana stacking back. Proper life stacking.
Amen about mana stacking.
Give us more life scaling, please. Proper life stack.
In terms of life as a defensive power, yeah, I agree. Armor definitely feels better. But isn't life offensively kind of ridiculous right now? I mean, he's playing Bloodletting right now, right?
Stacking, you know, int stacking, strength stacking, armor stacking. I would love to see all these in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they could add way more build variety also. There's so much that can be added to the game to add more variety, but I think that we should focus a bit more on the core of the game itself to better help these skills. A few of them need reworks, a few of them need better wording, better abilities, better scalers, whatever it may be.
Balance. So he wants a lot of balance
changes. And hopefully GGG can work this out in the coming future of the game. Next on the list, I would love to see a complete Chayula rework once again. We just got one.
Okay, that caught me off guard. Balance changes he'll for sure get. If he's asking for no nerfs, I think there's no Shy's get. But he'll get some balance changes. I mean, they do that in literally every patch, so that's a pretty safe bet. Acolyte of Chalupa nerf or rework, man, I don't know. I feel like they keep trying with this class. The Darkness Reservation actually feels kind of good. I did a hardcore Chalupa run this league, and Darkness actually feels kind of good. I don't know if they're going to remove it or not, but they reintroduced the thing where in Sanctum or Trial of Suck My Ass, that when you are taking damage from Darkness, it actually doesn't take away from your honor res. I don't know. That was a bug before. I don't know if it's still a bug or they're just like, it's an unintended game mechanic, and now it's just a side bonus if you're actually, for one of the two people on the planet, they're playing Acolyte of Cholula. But that was a nice part of it. My opinion on the Cholula thing is this. Darkness is actually super cool, but you're capped up to a certain point because it gives you darkness based upon your chaos res, and you can only get to so much of a percentage, and then it caps. I think the best way to do this is remove the cap, so you can overcap your chaos res. You can go like 400% chaos res if you really wanted to go all the way, or whatever, right? Whatever you could actually get to. And then you could continue to stack darkness, or like you could stack energy shield. Chaos res itself is like, it's a suffix. There's not too many like things on the tree in order to get it. So in order to actually get a shitload of chaos res, it's high investment, and then there's going to be a limited number you can actually get anyway. So it's not going to be like energy shield where you can just click a bunch of nodes for free with passive skill, and you're going to end up with like 20,000, 40,000 ES if you're like all the way invested. There is still going to be a pseudo cap on chaos res, but I think just removing the cap off of it does give Cholulu like at least a niche portion in which they are kind of focused on being tanky, which I think would be kind of cool. And it is a high cost. Like, you can't have any spirit if you're doing darkness. So just a thought. I mean, that's one thing that goes to my mind. Also, Void Illusion. I've tried making that work. Maybe somebody out there has done it. It also doesn't work like when you dodge roll, you know, you get like the little taunt there. It's kind of dog shit. And then you can get the cooldown down, but if you're using like Temporalis or something to try to get the cooldown even down, if you want to use like Blink, so you can like blink around and then leave it, it doesn't work with Blink. You have to actually be dodge rolling. So because of like the time it takes to actually dodge roll, there's like a certain hard limit on how many of these things you can actually spawn. So like the Void Illusion itself as a skill for Acolyte of Cholulu just feels kind of bad. So I agree with him there. Volatility, some people have made work, but it's just kind of clunky and weird. So volatility isn't that great anyway. In other words, there's not really, outside of darkness, there's not really too many reasons I would ever actually pick this class, which is why if you're going to do something to it, make darkness better by removing the cap, or maybe rework some of these other ascendancy nodes. So in other words, I agree with him here. Cholulu is like not positioned well.
But I league started Chayula in hopes to make a caster variant, and I got to see the flaws. I also saw Miso trying to play Chayula Monk as well, and he didn't really like it either.
Yeah.
It is still very, very lackluster as compared to many ascendancies in the game.
Yeah, agreed.
Invoker. It has way too many conditional damage buffs over static damage buffs that other ascendancies can offer, and you can still get an even better outcome. So I definitely think GGG should take a look at that once again. One crazy idea I had was adding graphs to Chayula, since it is lore-wise linked to Chayula himself, and
That's kind of cool.
I thought graphs were very cool in the new season, So that could be a very cool addition, since GGG wants certain characters to have their own identity. I personally think that would be very great for the Chi.
Cool idea. Probably a lot of dev work for just one ascendancy point that, you know, class that's like already in the game. They're making other shit. Probably won't happen, but cool idea anyway.
To have their own personal graphs. Just a crazy idea. Not that it would be added at all, but who knows. Another ascendancy I would like to see get a little touching is the Smith of Kataba. This is honestly my own personal bias, just because I would love to make use of the fire spell on hit, but in my opinion, I mean, I don't know if they want it to be just for utility, but when you look at Mjolnir and you see that it gives a good multiplicative damage buff and no mana use on cast, it's really good. Why isn't fire spell on melee hit exactly like that? I think that would be a pretty good addition, and they should definitely look at that. And
yeah, Smith is kind of like a feels bad one to me, honestly, because it was pretty strong before, and it got the triple tap where like the ascendancy got removed. I think the thing with Smith is with armor doing LE damage and being really good against like small amounts of LE damage, like, you know, monsters have extra damage as, etc. I think they were really scared that Smith of Kataba was going to be borderline unkillable. They probably would have been right, honestly. Still usable, but it did get triple tap from like the passive tree changing with max res, the ascendancy itself somewhat getting nerfed. So yeah, Smith feels kind of I don't know if I want to say it's like bad, because I don't think it's bad. It's just the cool thing that made it unique was like making the chest plate and having the fire res, and when you do reduce that, you kind of reduce like the entire point of the ascendancy. So I like his idea of like making the fire spells like better portion, or maybe like the manifest weapon or something. No one really does that. The anvil is basically a giant meme. The whole best thing about the anvil actually ever being in the game was we got those really funny Quinn clips and Matho laughing at the Quinn clips of like him sitting there like anviling right in the middle of a boss attack. So that's about it. That's about the best thing we got out of that portion of the ascendancy. So I agree.
Also, the manifest weapon, I know that just got a little small buff, but it's still not enough to make me want to use it. As a person who doesn't already like minions as is, that's another thing that I would also like to see in 0.4. Just more minion buffs. I would love to play Spectres. As someone who has never been into Spectres, I actually was thinking of playing the animate weapon of reflection build in PoE 1 because it just looks sick. Buff the Spectre.
Yo, I'm gonna call it right there. I'm gonna rock out. I'm gonna get out of here. Well, I want to thank you guys. That's what I'm thankful for. The one or two people I have watching me. You know, we're trading together. We're making money together. You know, every day. We're trying to make money, trying to make more. You know, uh, keep up with the market, keep up with everything that's going on. So, um, there's nothing really left going on today. You know, but we're going to be bright and early tomorrow. I'm sorry, on Monday, 9:15, we're going to be on time. Uh, so, you know, good luck. Um, happy holidays, and that's definitely one thing that I'm thankful for when it comes to me and my personal, I guess, success or personal well-being, professionally. So, I'm thankful for that. You know, consistency, persistence. That's key. Um, Not just on and off, hot and cold, you know. So thank you for watching, thank you for hanging out. And next year, you know, instead of 2 or 3 people, hopefully we have 4 to 5 people, you know. But be safe out there and have a good holiday. Thanks for watching.